Hello students, I hope you are all fine and at the best of your health and living peacefully and safely with your family. Well, first of all, I would like to welcome you all in this new session 2020-21. Well, we all know that this is a time of crisis, and the time of crisis does not necessarily mean anxiety and worry. Rather, it opens the door of opportunities to make ourselves even better by honing our skills and then bounce back at life even stronger and better.
With this, we are going to begin the first chapter of your book, Footprints Without Feet. And the name of the chapter is A Letter to God, written by L Fluentes. First of all, let us talk about the author of the story, L Fluentes. His full name is Gregorio Lopez y Fluentes. He was a Mexican novelist, a poet, and journalist. And he was one of the leading chroniclers of the Mexican Revolution. He was born on 17th of November 1895 and he took his last breath in the year 1966, 10th of December. This story is about the hard life of a farmer and extreme faith in God. The name of the farmer is Lencho. He waits desperately for rain, but unfortunately, the rain turns out into hailstones and all the crops is destroyed. He writes a letter to the God. He had an unshakable faith in God. He believed that God will not let him and his family die of hunger. So he writes a letter to the God. Some kind employees in the post office takes the initiative of compensating the farmer. They do so in order to not shake the faith of the poor farmer in God. Let's talk about the characters of the story. There are two main characters. One is Lencho, the poor farmer who lives on the top of a small hill, who is very innocent, honest, caring and responsible towards his family. The second one is the postmaster, who is a friendly character and very helpful towards Lencho in the story. Apart from these two characters, there are other post office employees who help Lencho in his adverse situation. Well, let us now begin with the explanation of the chapter. But before that, I would like to request you to kindly keep your books before you so that you are able to understand the text properly. The story goes like this. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. From this height, one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lencho, who knew his fields intimately, had done nothing else but see the sky towards the northeast. Well, Lencho the farmer, who lived only. Well, the new words in this passage are. Well, the new words that we have come across so far are crest, that means top of a hill, dotted means full of, downpour means heavy rain, and intimately means very closely. Well, Lencho the farmer lived on the only house that was there on the top of a hill, and the hill was very low heighted. From there, a river and a ready to harvest cornfield were visible, and the field belonged to Lencho, and he had the utmost confidence that the harvest would reap great profits. The only thing that he awaited was rainfall, and in this hope he spent an entire morning gazing at the sky in the northeast direction, from where a drizzle was expected to shower on his field. Now, we're really going to get some water, woman. The woman who was preparing supper replied, "Yes, God willing." The older boys were working in the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called to them all, "Come for dinner." It was during the meal that, just as Lencho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. In the northeast, huge mountains of clouds could be seen approaching. The air was fresh and sweet. The men went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed, "These aren't raindrops falling from the sky. They are new coins. The big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little ones are fives." Well, here in this, it means the man, while looking at the sky, confidently tells his wife that they are going to have a rain shower. To which the lady replies by saying, "Only if God wills." Everything happens as they hope and expect. The elder children were working at the field and the younger ones were playing near the house when Lencho's wife calls them for supper. It is during that time drops of rain began to fall, hereby proving the farmer's prediction to be true. The wind was pleasant and cloud could be seen approaching from the northeast sky. Lencho goes out of the house to take the pleasure of rain on his body. He refers to the drizzle as coins, large droplets being equivalent to 10 cents and small droplets to be equivalent to 5 cents. He says so because these raindrops would ensure a good crop which would eventually get them a lot of money. Now, with a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corns with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. But suddenly, a strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstones began to fall. These truly did resemble new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. Now, the new words that we have come across in this so far. In this paragraph, we have come across some new words. You can mark them. Draped, that means to cover or to wrap. Hailstones, that means a pellet of hail. Resemble means having a similar appearance, and exposing means to make something visible by uncovering it or revealing it. Now, on seeing everything go as expected, Lencho reflected upon the field and the flowers covered with droplets which seemed as if they were wrapped in a curtain. Unexpectedly, a strong wind started blowing, leading to a hailstorm. Satirically, the writer refers to these pellets of frozen rain as new silver coins. The innocent boy became playful and went out in the rain to play and collect these hailstones, which looked like frozen pearls. "It's really getting bad now," exclaimed the man. "I hope it passes quickly." It did not pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the whole valley. The field was white as if covered with salt. Well, the farmer now starts worrying and hopes that the storm gets over quickly, which to his utmost disappointment did not get over. The hailstones covered the entire valley during this hailstorm, and the house, the garden, hillside and cornfield, everything was covered with the hailstones. It made everything look so white that it seemed as if it was covered with salt. So now the hailstones have been compared with salt. It was as white as salt. Not a leaf remained on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. The flowers were gone from the plants. Lencho's soul was filled with sadness. When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his sons, "A plague of locusts would have left more than this. The hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn." That night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. We'll all go hungry this year. Now, the new words in this are plague, a destructively numerous inflow of multiplication of a harmful animal, infestation. Locusts means insects which fly in big groups and destroy the field or the crops. Lencho became so stressed and disappointed as everything went against the plan. The trees had shed all their leaves and the flowers were also down because of the hailstones. The trees had shed their leaves, corns were smashed, and the flowers had also fallen from their plants. While standing in the withered fields, he conveyed his dismay and sorrow to his sons by commenting that this year the effect of the storm proved to be worse than ever, and that the crops were destroyed by insects would be left little bit or something better than what the hailstone had done. So all their hard work had gone in vain. That means it was all wasted. He felt helpless as no corn had been left and feared that they all might have to starve hungry this time. This time is the year in which the destruction took place. Well, that's all in this video. The further explanation of the chapter will be done in the next video. Thank you.